These days it seems like everything must evolve with the times or die, but the Burmese martial art of Lethwei has stubbornly managed to resist real change for over 1,000 years. To watch a traditional Lethwei fight is to step into a time machine, as its carefully preserved rule set reflects the most primal and brutal framework of the striking arts possible to witness today. Due to the sport being suppressed by the British colonials and the military junta that followed, Lethwei was forced into the remote eastern regions of Myanmar. This allowed the sport to survive, but importantly, it allowed it to survive unchanged. Since the end of the junta in 2011, the popularity of Lethwei has exploded, and the sport has finally started to make waves on the world scene. The rule set has several quirks that put Lethwei in a class all of its own. There are no gloves in Lethwei, leading to more facial lacerations and bleeding for the fighters. This means blocking strikes is much more difficult than in other sports like boxing or Muay Thai, where the large gloves are utilised in defence. In the past, both Lethwei and Muay Thai fighters would wrap their hands with rope, and the switch to bandage wraps is one of the very few modern alterations we see in Lethwei today. Another nickname for Lethwei is the sport of 9 limbs, as you can strike with fists, elbows, feet and knees, plus one more body part that makes this sport unique. The use of headbutts make the clinch positions absolutely deadly, as you never know what the opponent will hit you with, making defensive tactics much less effective and leading to the raw brutality that makes Lethwei such an engrossing art. In other combat sports, after the scheduled number of rounds elapsed, a decision will go to a panel of judges to decide the victor. Not so in Lethwei. A combatant can only be declared the winner by knocking out his opponent, or injuring him so grievously that he can no longer continue fighting. And if you do knock your opponent out, well, he gets a 2-minute recovery period, after which you have to knock him out again. One of the most famous examples of the 2-minute recovery period being put to good use was when Lethwei legend Tun Tun Min memorably came back against Cyrus Washington after being knocked out, managing to recover and finish the American to retain the golden belt. The cultural history of Lethwei is so rich, and there is so much more to discuss, but to go through it all would turn this 2-minute starter video into a 2-hour documentary, which fortunately we are currently doing. Like and subscribe to follow our journey into the heart of this 1,000-year-old sport, and hear the untold stories of the brave fighters who walk this ancient path today.